Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of equations for perpendicular lines. This is standard A.2F in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 39 of the 2018 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we need to find the equation in slope-intercept form of a line that passes through this point and is perpendicular. All right, so that's going to be big for us. What does it mean to have perpendicular lines? Well, when we have perpendicular lines, the slopes of those two lines are opposite reciprocal. And this is just something you are going to need to remember because it is not on your mathematics chart or your reference materials. Opposite reciprocal. So that means if it is a positive in one line, it's going to be negative in the other. So they have to have opposite signs. And then reciprocal. So it might be like, in this case, we've got 2/5. So that's going to flip over into 5/2. Or it might be 3 and it goes over to 1/3. Right, so the reciprocal. We've been working on reciprocal since 6th grade. So, well, let's see what we know about this particular line. This particular line has a slope. So let's just call this line A, right, has a slope of 2/5. And so that's our slope, because remember we're looking at y equals mx plus b, slope-intercept form, and that m it's going to be that coefficient right in front of the x. So if line A has got a 2/5 slope, line B is going to be the opposite reciprocal. So it's a positive 2/5 because there's no negative in front of it. Remember, when there's no sign, it's assumed to be positive, which means line B has to have a negative slope. And we've got 2/5 here, so the reciprocal is just flipping it upside down, 5/2. So I know that line B has a slope of negative 5/2. All of your answer choices are already in slope-intercept form. And I can get rid of A and B because it's positive 5/2 and we need it to be negative 5/2. Now we don't know what the y-intercept is. Line A's y-intercept is 2. We don't know what it is for line B. So let's go back to our slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. We're going to look at line B right here. We know it goes through point 2, negative 2, and we now know that its slope is negative 5/2. So you know what? I've got 4 letters in there, and I know 3 of them. Let's start plugging some letters in. So my y is negative 2. My m is my slope. That's negative 5/2. My x is my 2. And then I don't know what my y-intercept is, but I'm going to solve for b. So negative 2 equals, and you know those two 2's are going to cancel out because really that's a 2/1. So it's just negative 5 plus b. Add 5 to both sides, right? And you are going to get positive 3. b equals positive 3, which means you can say the slope-intercept form would be y equals negative 5/2 x plus 3. So that's looking like D. We did use the point in the slope-intercept form. We could also use the point-slope form, right? Y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. It's another good way to solve it. We know our slope, right, is negative 5/2. We say y minus, and then our y1 is negative 2. X minus, and then our x1 is 2. And then we just say that's going to be y plus 2. We need to distribute this out. Negative 5/2 x. Negative negative makes it positive. That's going to cancel out, so plus 5. Right? And then all we need to do is we just need to isolate that y. Let's subtract 2 from both sides. And guess what you're going to get? You are going to get this right here. Y equals negative 5/2 x plus 3. So that's our y-intercept is at plus 3. Our answer is D.